Good morning, everyone. Today, we are going to dive into a very important timely topic, adolescence and drug and alcohol abuse. This is something that affects not only our physical health but also our mental, emotional, and social well being. Adolescence, a time of change and vulnerability. Adolescence is a period from ages 12 to 19 where young people go through rapid physical, sexual, psychological, and social changes. This period, we call it as puberty, is when adolescents are especially vulnerable to external influences, particularly peer pressure. Many adolescents may feel pressurized or pressured to experiment with the drugs and alcohol as a way to fit in with their peers. This is where proper education and guidance becomes essential. By knowing the facts, young people can make informed decisions and confidently say no to drugs and alcohol, choosing instead to follow a healthy and responsible lifestyle. Now, we'll make you understand what is alcohol and what is drug abuse. So what is alcohol? So it is nothing but a psychoactive drug which is affecting the brain, leading to changes in a person's mind and behavior. It is acting as a depressant, slowing down the activity of the nervous system. That is alcohol. And talking about the drug abuse, it is referring to the intake of substances not for their medical use but in amounts and frequencies that impair a person's physical, physiological, and psychological functions. So, what are all the commonly abused drugs? So, which have been commonly used, they are called as opioids. So, the opioids, they are the drugs that bind to specific opioid receptors in the brain and body. A well-known opioid is called as heroin, which is derived from morphine, so which is extracted from a plant called poppy plant. Heroin, it is one of the most abused drugs and it is acting as a depressant, slowing down your body functions. And next one is cannabinoids. These come from the cannabis sativa. It is Indian hemp plant. The substances like marijuana, hashish, they're called cannabinoids, which will stimulate your central nervous system, that is your CNS, and they produce a feeling of euphoria. So what does euphoria means? It is a state of mental and emotional excitement. And next one we'll talk about cocaine. They are also known as coke or crack. So this cocaine is derived from the leaves of the cocoa plant. So it causes both physical and psychological issues such as hallucinations and paranoia. So we have talked about the drugs and what are all the commonly abused drugs, which is also includes, you call it as amphetamines and methamphetamines, which are stimulants. The other one is LSD. We call it as lysergic acid diethylamide, which is a powerful hallucinogen. So these are the commonly abused drugs. Okay, and next one we'll be talking about addiction and dependence. What is addiction? It is referring to a physical or psychological dependence on a substance such as drugs or alcohol. So over time, what is happening? This addiction can be personally destructive, leading to the loss of jobs, relationships, and overall connection with society. Addicts may develop a psychological attachment to the feelings of euphoria and well-being that these substances they provide, leading to increased tolerance and the need for higher doses to achieve the same effects. So this dependence can have many consequences. So what are the short-term effects of the drugs and alcohol, which will include a false sense of well-being, that you call it as euphoria, number one. Secondly, altered behavior and dullness of senses. Altered behavior and a dullness of senses. And next one, you will feel so drowsy, nausea and vomiting. These are all the short-term effects of drug and alcohol. If we talk about the long-term effects, they are more severe. Alcohol misuse. For instance, what will happen? It will lead to liver damage, that is including the liver cirrhosis, heart problems and brain damage. So it can even cause the conditions like Korsakoff syndrome, a chronic memory disorder linked to excessive alcohol use. So as we can see, the misuse of drugs and alcohol has got both short-term and long-term consequences which can severely affect the mind and the body. Okay, so the next part of the discussion, we will look at how we can prevent and control drug and alcohol abuse through various strategies. Prevention is the key to keeping ourselves and our loved ones healthy and safe from these dangerous substances. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.